wasn't to have Jews come to Christ. It was this, because he said, I read my Bible, and my Bible says that God will bless those who bless the Jews and curse those who curse the Jews. And I say to you, fellow Jews, God bless those who believe that. Incidentally, I believe it too. Just want to be on record. I believe that too, and history has shown that. Number 3, we must reach out to Muslims. There is no need in the world. There is absolutely no need for there to be a Muslim-Jewish rift. We have the same Father, and we have the same Father above. Our Hashem is their Allah. We are cousins, and we should remind them all the time that we are. And from pure Jewish self-interest, we need to isolate the terrible ones among them. They need to know that we, of all people, know, because we don't believe that the world is divided up by group, but by goodness. And so we are as close to a good Muslim as we are to a good Jew. And we are as alienated from a bad Jew as we are from a bad Muslim. We must reach out to these people, and we must isolate the terrible ones. We have to remind them, as I did on my radio show, which has many Muslim listeners, that there is a concept of Chilul Hashem in Islam, that a Muslim who acts evilly in the name of Allah brings discredit to the Quran and to Islam. That Muslims have the same motivation to condemn their evil as we do to condemn ours. Number 4, all of Jewish life must work on reaching out to unaffiliated and alienated Jews. Or even if you are an atheist, you must understand that it is only Judaism that will keep Jews alive. There will not be another generation of AIPAC members if Judaism is not vibrant. In that regard, please understand, ethnic solidarity is dying. What keeps Jews Jewish is Judaism, far, far, far more than ethnic secular identity. Lest I be misunderstood, Judaism is Judaism. I am not speaking for orthodoxy, for reform, or for conservatism. I am speaking for all of them. All of them marvelously keep Jews alive. That is what I mean. I am not talking denominationally. Number 5, there are many students here. There is a battle for the Jewish soul and America's soul on your campuses. You have to fight anti-Semitism there. I interviewed a man I consider one of the greatest 3 or 4 thinkers in America last week, Tom Sowell. Tom Sowell happens to be black. And Tom Sowell, out of nowhere, mentioned the following to me in the interview. Said, you know, Dennis, campus is the place, the universities are the place where there is the most anti-Semitism today. There's been a tremendous increase of anti-Semitism, as the ADL has just announced. It's decreased in America and vastly increased at universities. Said, and then he added, but you know what, Dennis? Nobody's going to take it seriously. And you know why? Jews don't riot. Boy, did that hit me in the solar plexus. I don't want you to riot at campuses, but I want you to do whatever is legal and decent and right to make the world know. Ladies and gentlemen, America would be a different place and Jews would be a much healthier people if Jewish academics were actually Jewish. I'd like you, when you get home, my students, I'd like you to ask a Jewish professor, especially one deep into multiculturalism, one simple question. Professor Schwartz, why is it, sir or ma'am, that you have such a passion that every culture on earth express itself, except the one you were born into. Sixth and finally, Jews need to be aware, as all Americans do, that television news is a disaster. I comment on news for a living. I read 4 newspapers and God knows how many journals. I am very, very well versed in the news. One of my secrets is that I never, ever, ever watch television news. Let me read to you. It is all trivialized. It is all sensationalized. It is all, if it didn't get on video and it's not action, we won't tell you it happened. That's the motto of TV news when it's not adding incendiary devices to cars. Ze'ev Chaffetz of the Jerusalem Report wrote in the last issue, CNN and other international news outfits decided to treat the expulsion of the Hamas terrorists as a major crime against humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that in the last 3 months, 400,000 blacks have been expelled from their homes in the Sudan? You're one of the best informed groups in America, and I'll bet few of you know that. Did you notice that on your TV news recently? You can read about it. Oh, it's reported, not on page 1. But it's reported, but you won't find it out. It just doesn't make it to TV news. But my God, you knew when they shaved, when the terrorists shaved, and how much heater they had, and so on. Maybe there's more respect for what Israel did after the World Trade Center, which brings me to my last point of the afternoon. We Jews are the world's miner's canary. In 1973, I was on a St. Louis radio station during the Arab oil embargo, and a non-Jewish caller called up and he said the following. He said, you know, I don't understand. You Jews seem to be the tail that wags the dog. You want America to take great concern over the Jews of Russia and exacerbate tensions with the other superpower. You want us to help Israel and have hostile, therefore more hostile relations with those who have our oil. What gives with you Jews? Are you the tail that wags the dog? My answer to him, it was as true today as it was then. We Jews are the world's miner's canary. Miners take canaries down to mines because canaries are more susceptible to noxious fumes than humans are. When there's a noxious fume, the canary dies. The miner sees the canary died and knows it's time to fight those fumes and get out. When there's evil, unfortunately, we Jews die first. Foolish non-Jews conclude that the canary is at fault. Intelligent non-Jews understand that there are noxious fumes that if they do not combat will hurt them. We die first, the good non-Jews of the world die second. That's the lesson. It took the World Trade Center bombing to take Hamas seriously in America. It's too bad. Maybe had we taken it seriously sooner, a few families would have had their fathers and brothers and sons in New York. My friends, the enemies of Israel are not the Boy Scouts of the world. The enemies of Israel is Iran, which is destroying its Baha'is, Sudan, which actually crucifies blacks. New York Times article a couple of months ago, but didn't get to see that on CNN. Iraq, which is a living concentration camp for its own people. Syria, which destroyed 20,000 of its own citizens in just one fairly well-known operation a few years ago. Hamas, whose agenda is the destruction of anyone who opposes their theocracy. Those are the enemies of Israel. They are also the enemies of good people. It is not a position we Jews asked for, but when we make this known to non-Jews, they will understand why we are here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, Tom.